Hello and welcome. I am Ethan or TheEreader, and this is Season 1, Episode 21 of the E-Reader podcast. And this is my review of The Will of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. Welcome. Took me a bit of time to read The Will of Ascension. I think it took me like 8 days or 9 days, and it was fantastic. I will start off with a spoiler-free thoughts, and then I'll go into spoiler-filled thoughts after. And yeah, it was an amazing book. Uh, I wouldn't say it's better than the first book, but it has better character development in the second book. It's not as well fast paced, The Well of Ascension, but you get a lot more information about the world, the families, and just the world you're in. What are the mists and what the other things? And so I'll just explain what the book's about first. So after the first book, they killed the Lord Ruler. They destroyed the god of this world, and they have to create a whole world from the bottom up after destroying the Lord Ruler. So Elend, Eland, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He becomes king, and it's just about how to not how to make a world, but how they accomplished making becoming king and the troubles that was filled with that. How yeah, and one day, if you remember in book 2-1, Alan's dad left in book 1, and he comes back. He's like, this is my world. This is my city. This is my world. I deserve to be king. And Alan's like, no, I'm king. And so it goes like that, and then they start to fight. And that's the overall um consensus. That there was no spoilers. That's on the back of the book, and the book is just about making an empire from the bottom up and the troubles that come with it. And that's pretty much all I can say. Vin goes through her troubles, and yeah, I can't really say much more than that. So my spoiler-free thoughts are just it was amazing. I rated it 4 stars out of 5. It was amazing. I can't really say much other than that. The character development in Elend was amazing. I learned so much about him. I liked him even more in the second book, along with Vin, Sazed, and the other members of the gang or of the book. And that's it. That's pretty much all I can say. So now are my spoiler-filled thoughts. Now, okay, if you haven't read the book, please leave and then come back after you read the book. So this will be one of my longer reviews because I have quite a bit to say. And I know after I finish, I will forget something that I would have wanted to say. So hopefully I don't forget anything. I'll just go off the bat. It was amazing. Not as good as the first book, in my opinion, but it was good. The character development was amazing. I learned so much. It was amazing. Vin, you really saw her troubles and how how she missed Kelsier, but not in like a she didn't love Kelsier, but as like a father figure. Um, and you see, I loved how Elend and Vin had their relationship troubles. Um, that because that's just realistic. I don't like them that isn't realistic. That's just realistic. Them not spending time together. Her being a misborn and he isn't. And yeah, so I'll just go over the points that really. I wrote down some things that really hit me through the book, and then maybe I'll talk about different scenes and stuff. So the first point I have down, these are not in any order, these are just random. So first one, Orser is spy? What? What? I didn't even see that coming. That was in the second half of the book. I think 3 quarters away. What? Orser is the spy? I mean, I maybe I'm just really dumb, but I didn't see that coming at all. How is he the spy? I put like 10 exclamation marks next to that point. How? I know, like the fight between Zane and Vin, and then Orser walking over. I was like, what just happened there? Jeez, that just like that like had my mouth was wide open. It was onto the floor when I read that. Jeez, I was really surprised by that. Next point or next thing that really hit me was Sazed lied about the Well of Ascension. At the end of the book, Sazed is like, oh, go to the Well of Ascension. It's in the mountains of Terrace or whatever. And how I know he lied to protect them, but is that a smart move on Sazed? I mean, she's the most powerful Mistborn that like ever. And how does he do this? He I know he wants to protect her. I know that, but she's powerful. Sazed shouldn't limit what she can do, in my opinion. And the battle would have been way better. Maybe Doxson and Clubs wouldn't have died, which is my second point. Clubs and Doxson died. Oh my gosh. I mean, I didn't really have that much of a connection. I didn't really not that I didn't like them, but we didn't really know that much about the Clubs or Doxson. Like, yeah, we knew them, we knew what they were, and we knew what their kind of personality was, but we didn't know their backstory that much, which is sad because they're dead now. And speaking of dead, lots of people died in this book. So many. There's Clubs, Doxson, Tyndall, uh, Sazed's love interest. Straff died as well. Alen's dad, Straff Venture, and Zane died as well. The Alen's brother. So many people died in this book, which was crazy. And last was, or not last, second last. I thought Marsh was good. Marsh defending, or like fighting Sazed at the end when Vin was in the Will of Ascension in Credit Shaw. I thought Marsh was good. Come on, he was turned bad, and then he was fighting Sazed, so he wouldn't, so Sazed couldn't stop Vin from taking the power. Which I maybe we'll see why he's like that in the third book, or maybe I will. Um, because it's not we. And my last point that I wrote down was Alend almost died. That was crazy. I When I was reading this, I was like, Alend Alen was stabbed, I think, or something, and he fell to the floor, and I was like, is he dead? Is he really dead? Like, I could really see Brandon Sanderson killing him, but then he was brought back to life by swallowing, and then my final point. He's a Mistborn now. What? How? I never saw that coming. And now the things that could happen, like, could anyone become a Mistborn by swallowing whatever he swallowed? Like, or is there only one of those things? Anyway, those are my main points. And a few other things I want to talk about are the battle scene between the Kolos and the other, like, just that battle scene alone, that was written fantastically by Brandon Sanderson. The fighting was amazing. I loved, like, the battle scene. Like, you sometimes you don't see that much things that happen in the second book because they're making you ready for the third book, which is like huge battle. But I found the second book like amazing, full of action, just enough action not to make the book slow. But yeah, and that's pretty much all I got to say. Oh, one more thing, or it'll probably be a couple more things, is when I read, it was like the first like 100 pages, when Vin punched a dog, like abused a dog in like a dog shelter. That really was like, oh my gosh. I know she kills people, and I know, like, it's just, I like dogs or wolves, same thing. And like, just like the dog whimpering, just how Sanderson described that, like the dog whimpering when he punched it, and she killed the dog. What? Oh, jeez, that was really like a, what just happened there? And I loved Sazed and Tyndall. I like their relationship. I like how they're so interested in finding out where the Well of Ascension was, and Rashak and Alendi and the other members of the thousand-year-old logbook thing. I loved that part. And Spook. We also saw a bit of Spook in this book, and I always love seeing Spook. He's such a nice, cool character to see. And I'm really interested to see on what happens of Alen now that he's a Mistborn, and the relationship between the two Mistborns. Now, there maybe some predictions to the third book is maybe um Alen will, or sorry, Vin will teach Alen on how to use the powers. That's pretty possible. Um, and another thing that really surprised me was Vin really eager to get married to or engaged to, or no, they got married to Alen. That was really like she really loves Alen, yeah. And my last thing I want to talk about is the scene at the end in the Well of Ascension. Vin deciding not to take the power to herself, something that the Lord Ruler decided that he wanted. He took the power, which I don't know what Vin should have done. I mean, did she want to become like the Lord Ruler with all that power? Um, great power comes with great responsibility, but I don't know what I would have done. Would you take the power, or would you not take it and let that power out into the world? Would you like to control that power? I don't know. Those are just thoughts that I've been thinking, and I don't know what I would have done. I mean, I kind of think Vin is kind of dumb, as like she's like putting that power out into the world, and that's obviously what the third book's going to be about, of her killing that power or whatever it was that she released. And that's what Caesar was coming back to say, like, don't release the power. It's been imprisoned there. And that's what the logbook says, that he should stop Alendi from going there, that because he might release the imprisoned power there. So yeah, that's, I don't know, but we don't really know what the power is. It was a weird voice monotone kind of. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Sorry, this has been a longer review. I've had a lot of thoughts about this book, and it was really good. 4 or 5 stars. Amazing book. Can't wait to get into the third book, and I just started it today, so probably finish it in 8-9 days. So just before the month is over. Look forward for my midway review of that book, which will come out probably next week, and the review that will come out a week and a half from now. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Ethan, or the E-Reader. This is Season 1, Episode 21 of the E-Reader podcast. This has been my Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson review. Thanks for listening. See you next time.